hope you took the notes and now you know. If you know someone who is near you, sasa unaweza jua vile ambavyo utaweza kumsaidia. And today we remember it is family and health. So we interchange. We bring a doctor, we bring a counselor to make sure it is all round, yeah, to see where one-sided sana. And so today we are glad to have a practicing counselor with us right here in studio. I know you know her and you love her. Yes, she is back. We have Mrs. Nancy Ngige with us here today we did part 1 of communications. You remember, and we said we are coming for part 2 of it. Now we are coming for the listening part. There was the communication. How should you as you're addressing the person, maybe you want to maybe make some communication ifikie mtu fulani, so how do you get to do that? And also wewe sasa tunataka kuja wewe mwenyewe unafaa kusikizaje ndio hiyo communication ikuwe better. But before that, remember we are having the annual congress that is happening right here, annual prophetic prayer congress that will be happening here from day 4 to day 10 of the month of December 2023. We are welcoming you, please. This is your meeting. This is the gathering. It is interdenominational. Please, watu waseme, ni watu tu wa Mizpah, ni watu tu wa kanisa fulani. Remember, Mizpah is a house of prayer, so it is interdenominational. Whether wewe ni Mukurino, whether AIC, Pentecost, zote, you're welcome for this annual prophetic prayer congress. It is hosted by Apostle JC together with Reverend Dr. Margaret Karanja, and they have welcomed and invited great ministers of God. We'll have Bishop Margaret Wangari. We are going to have Apostle Julia Subi. We are going to have Prophet Paul Maniki. We are going to have Bishop Patrick Kariuki. We are going to have Bishop Anansi Kenothia right here. So mark your calendars for the 2/10 for a moment of transformation. The entry is totally free, but no more Mizpah charges apply. And so coming back to our discussion of today, I told you we're having a practicing counselor right here with us, and you can also reach to her via our SMS line. Maybe you want maybe to have some talk with her. And also, guess what? She's a retired teacher and she does not look like it, kabisa. And we are so happy because I am sure utaweza learn. Imagine a retired teacher, so anajua how to handle us as students, you know. So karibu sana ili tuweze kusemezana. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Doing well.
Karibu sana. You know, the first time I heard that you are retired teacher, I was like, lies. How this young? Hadi karibu ni change career nione haya. Kwa hivyo mtu anaweza retire mapema. But welcome.
Okay.
We are glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time for us.
Asante.
So we did part A of communications.
Yes.
Yenye iliend kenda hadi tukapitisha time ya producer na alitusamehea, thank God. So we said you're going to have part B of this. Okay. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for hosting me.
Karibu.
I'm not taking anything for granted.
Yes.
And thank you for the compliments. That you have given.
Which is true.
It's not every day that somebody tells you how they look at you.
Yeah.
Now, the last time I was here, I was not able to say hi to my family, my
Oh,
friends. Because I think we finished, we have a lot to talk about. So today I want to start by just passing my greetings.
Yes.
To my family members.
Yes.
To my clients. I have so many clients.
Yes.
Some are online.
Yes.
And I want to confirm that I am a retired teacher.
Yes.
I have taught over 37 years.
Oh my God, that is.
And I'm not just retired. I retired some years ago.
Okay.
And I didn't retire on early retirement. I retired because I reached the age of retirement.
Oh my God.
So I thank God. I thank God.
Yes.
For the fire He has brought me.
Yeah.
I'm also born again. I also preach.
Oh.
I'm also in the ministry of intercessory.
Okay.
So I think with the God's grace, there is a lot that you can achieve.
Yeah, that is true.
And so I thank God for everything.
Yeah.
Coming to the topic.
Yes.
You were talking about communication.
Yes.
And you said communication is a two-way process.
Two-way.
You can't communicate with yourself. And whenever you're communicating, you're passing some information.
Yes.
Or you're sharing some ideas.
Yes, yes.
And communication is a basic need. If you get a baby, 1 day old, they communicate to you.
Yeah, they do.
If you don't communicate back, you are actually communicating absence, that I'm not here for you. And so as we grow up and as we interact with the people,
Yes.
communication is a basic need. And you are always communicating. Even when you are silent, you are always communicating.
Yes, yes, true.
And so it is important to say what you mean and to mean what you say.
Yeah.
Sometimes we assume. And that is where we go wrong.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to communicate that I'm not okay.
Okay.
But I am using a language that is not clear. I'm not saying what I mean, and I don't mean what I say. So sometimes when you are communicating that feeling, that information, that I'm not okay, what makes you not okay?
Yeah.
Are you sick? I'm not sure whether you are sick,
Yeah.
you are annoyed, you are tired, you are sleepy. I
Yeah.
don't know what you are saying.
Exactly.
And so it is important that you send the correct message and the correct information. And so as you send the correct message and the correct information, you need to look at the person who is receiving, because you are not communicating to yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And as you live together in a family we have children, we have mother and father.
Yes.
Everybody has that basic need of communication. From the day-old child to your the below adolescents, these growing up children, to the adolescent, to the young woman or young man in the family, because you may have a daughter-in-law, a son-in-law.
Yes, yes.
You cannot just assume that people know what you are saying.
Nope.
Sometimes you use a language that people don't understand.
Yeah.
In communication, don't use parables. Even that Yesu, when he was using parables, wanafunzi wake, they were asking him to interpret that parable.
Ulikuwa unamaanisha nini mkubwa?
What were you saying? Like this parable of the sower.
Yes.
By the way, if you don't read beyond the sower went to sow, it will be a song.
It will
like
be hanging on the air.
The sower went to sow, and it will be a song. But when you go to his interpretation, that's what you understand.
Yeah.
So in our everyday life,
Yes.
communication is key to every relationship.
Yeah.
Whether you are relating with your child, or with your husband, or with your wife, or your colleague, or your boss, you don't assume that people understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so it is important to say what you want to say. And see, the communication or the idea comes from your mind. You form an idea.
Yeah.
And this is the idea you want to pass. If you don't give it the meaning that you want to send, it will definitely be misunderstood.
Yeah, true.
It will be misunderstood. Like you say, and this one affects women in many cases. Women want to talk in gestures. They want to talk in body language. They want to talk in parables.
Yes. Yes.
They want to talk in, and they are very good, especially your age. They are very good. I hear they talk about, they call it sizing. Eh?
Yeah.
I have been a teacher for many years.
Yeah.
And a counselor for students.
Yeah.
And I remember one time a student came to me and she was complaining about her friend. Kamuliza, what is the problem? I'm in size. I was saying, size? What is sizing? No, ni size too. Now, for me at my age and for them, I couldn't see the problem. Kumbe, there is a lot of meaning when you are doing that.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's heavy.
Or when you swing your neck like...
That is true.
Or when you pass somebody and you just look back. If I pass you and I look back, it's maybe I want to confirm your hairstyle, maybe I want to confirm something else. But these children, when akikupita alafu akuangalie, they feel bad.
Yeah.
Because there's another meaning of...
Exactly.
So we usually say that when you are communicating, just say what you mean. And don't speak in parables.
Okay.
And I think we went through that last time.
Yeah.
And we said the don'ts of communicating.
Yeah.
Don't how you put your word, the tone that you're using, the the pitch of your voice. You can be misunderstood because of the pitch. Like I give an example here when someone is just walking past you na anakuswingia, hakuongelesha, tuseme ni bwana, amekukasirisha as a wife. So unampita tu, unamswingia, unapita, anajua kuna kitu unasema. But he cannot get it. So there are some things that you are sending the wrong message. And we have a lot of chaos in families and in relationships. But today, let's talk about listening, because it is a two-way process. What do you hear? And the question is, umesikia nini? And you see, we communicate verbally and non-verbally. So like when you are using words and you are giving somebody instructions, or you are making corrections. I don't like the way you talked to me. I don't like the way you are treating me. What have you heard? The whatever you hear depends on a lot of things surrounding that relationship. Like, what is your attitude? If you have an attitude of fighting, and you are dying for a fight, is that what they say?
You are yearning for
you are
one.
Spoiled for you are spoiled for a fight. Yani umelala umeamuka ukisema huyu atanijua leo. Ama umeshida the whole day ukijua wacha tu akuje. So you are actually spoiled for a fight. That is the attitude you have. So, but where do you start? So you say, I don't like the way you treated me yesterday. And you see that we are talking about yesterday. So your attitude is, I want to fight. So what do you hear? Then maybe the person you are communicating to says, I can't remember what are you talking about? I can't remember what I did. But because of the attitude you are saying, you can't remember. Really? You can't remember. You don't normally remember. It's not like you to remember. And no wonder you can't remember. You know, the attitude you have. So what you hear is very, very important. And so before you jump, there are some things that you have to do. There are some things that you have to do. You know, listening is not the same as hearing. And that's why I said, what did you hear? Not what are you listening to? What did you hear? Hearing, we hear everything. We hear noises, we hear children crying, we hear... Like look at a school during break time. Let's say a primary school. What do you hear? There is a chap-chap. It's like, it's like the birds have been released and they are all enjoying the weaver birds. But you don't understand their language. So you are only hearing that noise. But here in a relationship, we're talking about listening. Listening is actually a deliberate move or a deliberate action to hear what somebody is saying, to understand, deliberately doing it. And so one of the things is that don't just depend on the words that have been said. Look at the person so that you understand the nonverbal cues that are accompanying that communication. For instance, he once says, you can't hear. And he says, you can't hear? There's a difference. I'm talking to you. Can you hear me? It's different from, I'm talking to you. You can't hear me? The tone, the facial expression, the eye contact, the body language. If I am holding my... you look at all the other things that accompany. And suppose I'm talking to you, but you don't want to listen to me. How will I know that I'm talking to a stone?
That is true.
I will, you can say, okay, go ahead, tell me, what do you want us to discuss? You know, the discussions in the family starts like this. Hi, Baba or Mama so-and-so. Can you sit here? I want us to talk. Immediately you say, sit here, I want us to talk. Umetangaza vita.
Mind imeblock.
Because now it's like, oh,
nimefanya nini?
Nini sasa tena. Tena, you see? It's like there was yesterday, there was the other day. Nini tena. So, the combination, but if you say, by the way, there's something I want to tell you. You feel, oh, there's something you want to tell me. What is it? But so there's a lot of connection with what you are saying and how you are saying it.
Yeah.
So even when you want to discuss, it is important that you purpose to listen.
Okay.
And some of the things that block listening is that attitude of the past. You never move forward.
Okay.
Tunasema ni mangekia. Ukilima shamba, unatoa hiyo kigekia unaweka inafunikwa. Sasa nyasi ya juu inaenda chini.
Yes.
So unaleta ingine unafunika. Sasa siku mvua itanyesha. Hiyo nyasi yote So the moment you don't listen to your partner or to your fellow person in the family, because it can also be a child. Wanaanza kusema, even the other day, it's the same thing I wanted to tell you. Sasa wacha tu basi, wacha ikae. Nobody knows nini inaka. Because you have brought the past. Something else that makes people not to listen is judgment. Okay. So you are back again. I know how it's going to end. The other day, we were talking about this child. Tusema ni mtoto. Mtoto amekuwa tunaenda shule tu. Tunaitwa shule. Now you are sitting me down. I know nataka to engage you. Especially girls. You know, girls are a challenge. You are one. But thank God you are born again. Girls can make a family break. And I have seen cases of girls who have made families to break. Okay. Because the two of you have never gone to a class to be taught how to be a parent. Once, she has just become adolescent. She has just become a teenage. She is going through her own problems. And now here is their family. And nobody ever told them how to handle a teenager.
Exactly.
So, ni kurudishiana sasa. Ni wewe. So, when you are now getting that communication, and you have that feeling of, I know how this will end. I know what you want to tell me. You will not listen.
That is true.
In fact, you will finish the story,
You will conclude things in your head.
Yeah, and so anything that is hate, you say, so you mean this. You mean I'm the one who is failing. You mean niwe mtoto wangu peke yangu. Mwarigu ama murugu. Kwani huyu mtoto si you have forgotten everything about what was the issue. Maybe hata anataka kukwambia. Mwalimu ametuma message. Amesema mtoto hana pesa. Oh, kaa hapa tuongee. Juu ya nini? It's about your daughter. Oh, so it is now my daughter. So it is not your daughter. Now you will not hear even anything else. And so when you jump to conclusions, this person will keep quiet. Yeah. And now silence is a killer. Silence is a means of communication. When you are silent like that, you decide, I don't want to talk. Why are you not talking? Because I know what you're going to say. Because I know how it's going to end. Because I know you're not going to take actions. Because I am fearing I'll be hurt.
Judgment.
So you have already judged what the conclusion will be. So when you get into that, you don't listen.
Okay, that is nice. And allow us to take a break kidogo on that. Now we know some of the things, passing on judgment, dwelling on the past. Now we want to know more about it. But before we take a break, remember, tunakumbusha pia, don't forget about the annual congress that will be happening from 4th to the 10th. Please mark your calendars. Tutasema hadi yule wa mwisho kabisa, make sure amefanya hivyo. You may mark your calendars, not only marking your calendars, but also you've made that call on 0727766553. Remember, entry is totally free. We take a break, but we will back. This is Nuru ya Asubuhi.